Y a partir de este momento, Montgomery al Día. Un programa presentado por el Condado de Montgomery con el objetivo de mantener a la población latina informada sobre todo lo que acontece en nuestro condado. Un espacio informativo para que usted obtenga acceso directo a los servicios de su gobierno local. Aquí da inicio Montgomery al Día. Queda con ustedes la presentadora de este programa y portavoz hispana del Condado de Montgomery, Lorna Virgilí.
Así es, queridos amigos, muy buenas tardes y bienvenidos una vez más a Montgomery al Día, su programa oficial del gobierno del Condado de Montgomery, galardonado a nivel nacional. Y como cada martes a las 2 de la tarde, acá por casi ya 12 años, su portavoz hispana de este condado, Lorna Virgilí. Muchísimas gracias por esa sintonía y bienvenidos a este show, programa, episodio 580 de Montgomery al Día. Hoy tenemos con nosotros a Julian Lavich, quien es el director de nuestro Centro Gilchrist de Recursos para Inmigrantes. Esto es un bastión en nuestra comunidad porque, como lo dice el nombre preciso de esta agencia nuestra del gobierno del condado de Montgomery, sirve para ayudar a los inmigrantes en nuestra comunidad. Julian, good afternoon. Welcome. Bienvenido.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. And there's so much that the Gilchrist Center actually has been doing for several years for the immigrant community here in the county. But if you can give us a background for those people that are perhaps listening, what is the Gilchrist Center and what is its mission? Let's get started with that. La misión de lo que es el Centro Gilchrist.
Yes, so the Gilchrist Immigrant Resource Center is part of Montgomery County Office of Community Partnership. So we're not a nonprofit organization. We're fully integrated into Montgomery County government. That falls under the Community Engagement Cluster. So what is the Gilchrist Center? We've been in existence for 23 years now, starting 2001. And we really are a resource center. So, and we're focusing on, we're helping anyone living in the county, but we are focusing specifically on the needs of immigrant residents in Montgomery County. So,
exactamente. Let me go ahead and translate that. El Centro Gilchrist lleva a nuestra comunidad más de 20 años. Es parte de lo que es la Oficina de Relaciones Comunitarias. Es una entidad sin fines de lucro, pero que trabaja con el gobierno del condado de Montgomery. What year was established? Was it 96? 1996?
No, 2001.
2001. En el 2001 fue que se estableció el Centro Gilchrist y la misión, pues, obviamente es asistir a la comunidad inmigrante en nuestro condado de Montgomery. Keep going.
So our mission is we're a resource center for immigrants, and we strengthen the county by connecting our diverse communities with educational, economic, and civic resources, so all may thrive. So connecting is really the key word.
La clave es conectar a las personas con los recursos que tenemos dentro de la comunidad. Precisamente la clave es el enlace, el conectar. What do you see today are some of those most pressing issues facing our very diverse immigrant community in Montgomery County? ¿Cuáles son algunas de aquellas necesidades que se resaltan, ¿no?, dentro de nuestra gran diversa comunidad inmigrante en el condado de Montgomery?
So for people who come from another country outside the United States and do not speak English, English language is going to be one of the first barriers.
Yes.
But besides that, after that, we see questions about employment, legal immigration questions, housing, and access to healthcare. Those are some of the main questions we receive.
La mayor parte, ¿no?, de las preguntas que reciben es, pues, primordial, ¿no? El idioma inglés, recursos legales, vivienda asequible, el tema del empleo también es algo que ellos reciben como preguntas por parte de nuestra comunidad inmigrante diversa. Y decimos que es diversa porque acá llegan personas de todo el mundo, no necesariamente de los países nuestros hispanoparlantes. You mentioned English as a second language in English classes, and we do know that your English classes are very popular. They get filled quickly. Enrollment for summer, because spring is already happening, correct?
Spring is actually going to happen very soon. We're going to open registration on April 8th at 1 p.m. So it's great timing.
La inscripción, then we're going to talk about the levels. La inscripción para las clases de inglés, fíjense ustedes que para lo que ellos determinan como la temporada de primavera, pues ya van a abrir el día 8 de abril. No se olviden de inscribirse a tiempo. What levels of English language are you offering for the classes, Julian?
So it's going to be beginner to intermediate. So technically, that's going to be basic, level 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Ok. Ofrecen niveles 1, 2, 3 y 4, desde principiante hasta intermedios. Así que si usted está interesado en inscribirse en nuestro centro Gilchrist de recursos para inmigrantes, las clases de inglés, que sabemos que son súper populares y siempre nos están preguntando, pues sepan que ya esta inscripción comienza a partir del 8 de abril, aproximadamente una semanita de la fecha de hoy. Is there a cost for the English classes that you offer?
So the classes we offer are free, with one exception. We have evening classes that require the purchase of a book. And it costs $35 to purchase a book. People can buy the book, we can sell the book, and we sell at cost. And we also have Saturday classes that are free, as well as English Conversation Club, which is also free, where people can practice English.
Ok, entonces las clases de inglés en realidad son libres de costo, no tienen ninguna tarifa. Las de la noche hay que comprar un libro que cuesta $35, se los venden, es el costo del libro. Y hay clases los días sábados también que son gratuitas. Para inscribirse, to register for the classes, Julian, where do we go?
Great question. Well, you go to our website, to the Gilchrist Center website, montgomerycountymd.gov/Gilchrist. Then if you navigate the menu to classes English, then there'll be a page where the application will be available on the 8th, and it's online.
Exactamente, la inscripción usted la tiene que hacer de forma electrónica visitando el sitio web del Centro Gilchrist, que es montgomerycountymd.gov/Gilchrist. Ahí es donde usted hace la inscripción. Una vez más, las clases para primavera, inscripción comienza el día 8 de abril. No se olvides. So, how did you work? You mentioned, all the connections that you do for the immigrant community with community partners. So what are some of those resources that you provide working with external organizations and partners to bring that comprehensive support to the immigrant community?
Right. And I will start by very often, a lot of people in the community believe that we are a direct service provider. But aside from the classes, we do not provide direct service. We are a resource center. And sometimes there's confusion about that. With that being said, we do partner with a number of agencies. Some of them, to name a few of them, Montgomery College also provides English classes at one of our sites. Department of Health and Human Services, we have a community navigator at all sites that can help people apply for public benefits. We partner with Catholic Charities for also adult English language instruction, Solution Zone Town Connections, APA LRC, the Asian Pacific American Legal Resource Center, which provides citizenship application assistance, as well as legal assistance, immigration legal assistance.
Let me go ahead and translate that. A veces hay un poquito de confusión donde las personas piensan que el Centro Gilchrist provee los recursos directamente a las personas que llegan. Una vez más, son la conexión con otros proveedores dentro de nuestra comunidad. trabajan con diferentes agencias como el Montgomery College, que también provee las clases de inglés, el Departamento nuestro de Salud del Condado de Montgomery, que es la conexión para algunos de los beneficios públicos que pudieron recibir las personas, las caridades católicas y también la agencia asiática, americana, pacífica, que ellos ofrecen clases de ciudadanía y también algunos recursos legales. When it comes to legal services, what are some of those legal services that you can connect people with?
Yes, and I was just going to bring that up. We also work with the Montgomery County Bar Foundation, the Pro Bono program, who come to the Gilchrist Center in Wheaton and in Gaithersburg to provide free consultations, one-on-one, in the evening. So that happens on Wednesdays and Thursdays, every other Wednesday or Thursday of the month. All the information is on our website. No registration. People can just come and get a consult. That's one of them. We also...
Let me translate about that legal service. Uno de los servicios legales que ofrecen es en colaboración con lo que es la Asociación de Abogados del Condado de Montgomery, el Montgomery County Bar Foundation, y entonces ellos ofrecen servicios de uno a uno en términos de asesoría legal en Wheaton y en Gettysburg, miércoles y jueves, Wednesdays and Thursdays in the evening, correct? Miércoles y jueves en la noche. If I were to need that kind of service in particular, I still have to go to the website to make the appointment, or can I pick up the phone and call?
So you can call. There's no appointment, so you can call us. You can find information on our website when they're here, and you just show up. It's drop in.
Ok, perfecto. Este servicio en particular de asesoría legal, la de los miércoles y jueves en la noche, usted no tiene que hacer cita, puede llegar a la localización. De todas maneras, el número telefónico del Centro Gilchrist es el 240-777-4940. 240-777-4940. You say Wednesdays and Thursdays, Wheaton and Gaithersburg, both nights and both locations?
So yes, it's every in Gaithersburg is the first and third Wednesday of the month. Sorry, first and third Thursday of the month. In Gaithersburg, and in Wheaton, it's the second and fourth Wednesday of the month.
Ok. ¿Cómo funcionan estos servicios gratuitos de asesoría? Acá están los horarios. El primer y tercer jueves del mes en Gaithersburg, jueves. Jueves, Thursdays in Gaithersburg. I'm getting a little confused here. Thursdays in Gaithersburg.
Correct.
Y el segundo y cuarto miércoles del mes en Wheaton. Miércoles en Wheaton, jueves en Gaithersburg. All right, I was getting confused a little there. Pero para más información, llame directo al 240-777-4940 o visite montgomerycountymd.gov/Gilchrist. Why do you believe, first and foremost, what sort of outreach or strategies does the Gilchrist Center use in order to build a little bit more trust with the immigrant clients who may be a little bit hesitant to come in and ask for some of those services, whether it be, the referral for legal services or public assistance?
So the first element is in hiring. To build trust, we got to make sure that the staff who work at the Gilchrist Center really represent the diversity that we see in Montgomery County. So there's hiring, making sure that we hire diverse pool of staff, and regarding the trust, also the partnerships we built with the local providers, whether it's other government agencies or local nonprofits. The schools as well are instrumental, being present, being there, being at the outreach events in the community are extremely important. And finally, when we work with clients, being front-facing and often being the first office that maybe a new immigrant will see, it's very important to when we do training for our staff, we emphasize the value of customer service.
Okay. Le preguntaba, ¿no? ¿Cuáles son algunas de las estrategias que utilizan precisamente para, pues, reforzar y construir esa confianza con la comunidad inmigrante, los clientes que a lo mejor pueden tener ciertos niveles de temor, etcétera? Lo primero, obvio, es una gama de empleados que representen la diversidad que tenemos en el condado, los cuales, pues, reciben adiestramiento pertinente y a la misma vez, pues, la solidez de colaborar y trabajar con organizaciones sin fines de lucro locales, a la misma vez que agencias del gobierno del condado de Montgomery, incluyendo las escuelas también, precisamente para abrazar las necesidades de la comunidad inmigrante. Why do you believe it's so important to support the immigrant in our community, in our county, especially when it comes to finding jobs, which might be a difficult task?
Yes. What's important is to be well connected and being able to provide a referral to an agency that's going to help, to sometimes doing the follow-up and making sure that people did get the service. But again, being appraised of who is at capacity, where the capacity is. Things can be dynamic. There may be a provider that maybe have a wait list at some point in time, but later on no longer has a wait list. So being informed of that, just being on top of the capacity of different providers, so we can make the best referrals that are very efficient.
When you say list, what are you talking? Employment list or?
No, a wait list. Let's say a provider is overwhelmed with applications, and there's a wait list to receive a service. For us, it comes to us to make sure that we know where things are with each providers. There are different providers that can provide help. Also, they may have different programs that pop up at some point. So being very alert and know what's going on, so we can provide appropriate referrals in a timely manner. Timing is especially important.
Le preguntaba sobre las referencias, ¿no? Para el tema de empleo en particular, que sabemos que es importante para nuestra comunidad. Y entonces, al trabajar con los proveedores, pues estar al tanto, más bien, de lo que está disponible y lo que no está disponible. So how many providers do you think you work with, more or less, ballpark?
You're talking about in general?
Uh-huh.
Only? It's going to be very hard to, it's going to be in the hundreds. And it's not necessarily having a direct connection or formal connection with them, but really being aware that they exist. Sometimes checking with some contacts to see where they're at with the capacity. But it's going to be hundreds. There's so many fields between legal, between employment, healthcare, financial assistance, food assistance, etcétera, etcétera.
Yeah. So, sí, o sea, en términos de la lista de proveedores de recursos para enlazar a nuestra comunidad, pues son cientos, porque lo mismo es tema de salud, tema legal, financiero, asistencia financiera, etcétera. So, walk me through. If suppose, it's a newly arrived immigrant struggling to find employment and it's really unfamiliar with the local job market, how do you support them in that situation? How do you walk them through all of your resources to find some sort of employment for that individual?
Mm-hmm. So the first thing is to identify the most pressing needs and to address those first.
Okay.
There may be a great diversity of needs that a client may have. We find that it's not always in the client's best interest to dump all the information at once, because that can be very overwhelming. Remember, for someone who's coming from a different country, where the is new, the language is new, so overload of information can happen very quickly. So it's really having a focused approach and addressing the most pressing needs, knowing that once we have established the connection and trust, the client will come back for the secondary or tertiary needs. I think that's very important, and we work towards that because we always want to give as much information as we can, but in the interest of simplifying access, we gotta streamline all the information and be very focused on what we give.
Let me go ahead and translate, paraphrase what you just said real quick. Le preguntaba, ¿no? Llega una persona nueva a nuestra comunidad, un inmigrante, y anda buscando empleo. ¿Cómo es que lo canalizan a través de todos estos recursos? El primer paso, por lo general, es identificar cuáles son las necesidades más pertinentes en ese momento. Con el tema del idioma, cómo funcionan las cosas acá, pues a veces mucha información puede ser demasiado para la persona recién llegada. Entonces, para simplificar el proceso, lo que ellos hacen al principio es identificar qué es lo que necesitan de primera mano las personas. Let's say when you identify people need food, that might be the first stop, right? For instance.
Correct. Exactly.
And then you connect to the county agency that can provide them with that, correct?
Correct. So we will connect to give them information about the food hubs, or connect them to, for example, in Wheaton, the MOM is an organization, nonprofit that serves people who have needs with food. So they're just 2 floors ahead of us. So we'll send them upstairs and make sure they're connected, etc., etc.
El primer paso es eso, conectar. Por ejemplo, digamos que la persona lo que necesita es alimento, pues el primer paso es conectarlo con algunos de los centros nuestros de distribución de alimentos en las partes del condado, incluyendo Wheaton y los hubs que tenemos up county. How did you get the case where families come and they express concerns about discrimination or mistreatment? Have you gotten those cases in your office? I know it's not your office. I know it's the Office of Human Rights of the county, but folks don't know. So when you get those, for instance, how do you handle those?
So just that, we'll let them know about the Office of Human Rights. We let them know about the Conflict Resolution Center. We will also, they may need some legal advice. So we may refer them to, in this case, it could be the pro bono program that I just mentioned earlier.
Which program? The
pro bono, the Montgomery County Bar Foundation pro bono.
The Bar Foundation. Exacto. Le preguntaba si por casualidad, ¿no? Cómo ellos manejan cuando llega alguien, pues, expresando algo relacionado con discriminación o maltrato en la comunidad. Por supuesto, esto no es parte de la jurisdicción de lo que tiene que hacer el Centro Gilchrist, pero sí tienen la oportunidad de recomendarles, ya sea la oficina nuestra de derechos humanos, el Centro de Resolución de Conflictos en el Condado de Montgomery, o también, pues, el Montgomery County Bar Foundation de abogados del Condado de Montgomery. How do you stay updated on community needs? Because it's a very diverse immigrant community in our county. And I'm sure you've already assessed the needs, food, shelter, employment, the language, all of that. But how do you stay up to date with some of those needs? Because they might fluctuate. How do you handle that?
So we run reports, we analyze the data we receive, but we cannot do this on our own. We're part of a network of providers, but we're part at the Office of Community Partnerships. The Office of Community Partnerships, which the Gilchrist Center is part of, that office also includes the community liaisons, so we connect regularly, constantly with the community they represent. We have weekly meetings and we talk all the time. So when there's a community need, we're often, one of the first entities to know about it.
¿Cómo? Le preguntaba, se mantienen al tanto, ¿no? De cuáles son las necesidades de la comunidad inmigrante. Sabemos lo básico, el idioma, alimentación, empleo, educación, el colegio, etcétera. ¿Cómo se mantienen ellos al tanto de las necesidades de la comunidad diversa inmigrante? Pues, por supuesto, a través de los proveedores y también a través de nuestra oficina de relaciones comunitarias, que, como ustedes saben, tenemos varios enlaces. Tenemos el enlace latino, ustedes conocen a Jessy Mejía, tenemos un enlace para la comunidad asiática, para la comunidad de fe, tenemos varios enlaces y ellos llevan reuniones y reportes pues prácticamente semanalmente para estar al tanto de lo que son las necesidades de la comunidad. Deportation. Families come to your center. I have an order of deportation. What do I do? And you refer.
Correct. So when that's the case, we're going to refer them to the appropriate agency. There are a number of nonprofits, organizations that do work, provide some help with the people who need assistance, and refer them out. I want to point out that our website provides a number of resources. There's a Get Help section, and one of them is legal. And it will reference all the organizations in the DC area that will provide assistance, legal assistance.
Le preguntaba si por casualidad una familia o un individuo que tenga una orden de deportación, cómo ellos ayudan, pues obviamente una vez más es el enlace conectando. Si usted visita el sitio web montgomerycountymd.gov/Gilchrist, va a ver un sumario de organizaciones que asisten. Gratuito, free, right? Is it legal,
Correct.
Free legal assistance, correct?
Correct.
What you refer to?
There will be some organization that gonna ask for a small fee.
Okay.
But everything that's listed will either be pro bono or low bono.
Okay. La mayor parte del listado de las organizaciones que ofrecen la asistencia legal es pro bono, debe ser gratuita, o algunos pueden pues recibir una pequeña tarifa, un pequeño costo, pero todo está listado en el sitio web montgomerycountymd.gov/Gilchrist. Usted puede ir ahí y obtener esa asistencia legal prácticamente gratis porque es parte de la asociación con nuestro centro Gilchrist de recursos para inmigrantes. Am I forgetting anything that you might want to promote right now? We have a couple of minutes left, Julian.
Well, I would encourage people who are interested in our classes or programs to sign up for updates on our website, because as you mentioned earlier, the programs can be very popular. And on April 8th, when we open registration for English classes, by a few hours later, it's going to be full. So if you go to the webpage on April 9, it'll be too late already.
It'll be too late, yeah.
So if you sign up for notifications, you will receive a text message that reminds you, hey, registration is open. And you can do that on our website at the bottom. It will stay informed, sign up for Gilchrist Center news and announcements.
Algo muy importante que usted debe hacer, sobre todo si le interesan las clases gratuitas de inglés, es pues inscribirse para recibir las actualizaciones del Centro Gilchrist, porque las clases son populares, se llenan rapidito, como mencioné Julian, abre la matrícula el día 8, si usted va al sitio web el día 9, no hay clases, ya están llenos los cupos, lo que quiere decir que usted puede recibir estas actualizaciones y así se mantiene al tanto de todo lo que está aconteciendo y cuando abre la matrícula. At what time does enrollment start? Is
1 p.m.
At 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
1 de la tarde del 8 de abril, usted tiene que estar delante de la computadora pues listo para inscribirse, matricularse para sus clases. I'm sure you have students that they go from level 1 to 2 and 3 and 4, and those are the ones that register first, right?
Correct. So be very quick, ready to apply.
Exactamente, los estudiantes que ya son estudiantes del Centro Gilchrist, que se van ascendiendo de nivel 1 al 2, 3 y 4, pues esos se inscriben, se matriculan rapidísimo. Así que ya usted sabe, si va al sitio web montgomerycountymd.gov/Gilchrist, navega hasta el final de la página, ahí puede pues inscribirse para stay connected para las actualizaciones. Julian, we run out of time, I'm sorry, the half hour goes by real quick. Thank you so much for joining us today. You have a wonderful afternoon. Y ya ustedes saben, síganos a nosotros en la página de Facebook en español del Condado de Montgomery, Montgomery County en español. Muy buenas tardes y hasta la semana próxima. Thank you. See you next time.